Where are my glasses?
Okay. Okay, so we are officially live streaming on YouTube. I want to thank all of our YouTube audience watching us right now. This is Young Black and in Business, our weekly updates from the C-suite. My name is Brittany Miller. I am your Chief Marketing Officer. We are actually in the middle of celebrating our newest member, Petra House, and Mr. Carlton Brown and his entire team. So just to kind of get things going, we were on Facebook yesterday. We are on YouTube today. So I'm going to go ahead and kick everything off and pass it off to Sabrina. Please introduce yourself, introduce the business, let us know, let our audience know, who are you, what do you do, how can they get involved, what is your mission, everything. Take it away.
Great. Thank you, Brittany. And thank you, Young Black in Business, for having us on your platform to discuss our organization, our business. My name is Sabrina Carnell Williams. I'm a grant consultant for Petra House and Green Sustainable Solutions and for Dream Builders Youth Mentoring Network. I work with Petra House in seeking for grant opportunities and establishing funding to help out the homeless situation. Let me tell you a little bit about our organization, Petra House. The founder and CEO, Mr. Carlton H. Brown, established the business in January 2010. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization with a Christian faith base located in San Diego County. Our mission, Petra House provides long-term sustainable housing solutions to guide and support the most vulnerable individuals and families, reducing the homeless population in San Diego and urban communities to regain a sense of purpose and dignity, increasing self-sufficiency connected to a caring community. We have volunteers that minister to homeless neighbors living on the streets that have the homeless that have no clothes, no food, shelter, and nowhere to go. We engage in conversations one-on-one, giving them our undivided attention, offering hot foods and beverages, and just having one-on-one, finding out what their needs are. Now, we're not trying to be professionals, doctors, or psychiatrists and trying to focus on what their problem is and asking them personal questions. We're simply just listening in on their needs and then directing them to community resources. We believe we can make a difference, one person at a time. Homelessness is a humanitarian crisis. It is global, worldwide, especially in the United States. Our goal is to transition homeless people back into society. Now, we're not knowing how they got there. They could have been people in a suit and tie, working in the corporate world, making six figures, and all of a sudden there was a turn in their life to where they either lost their homes or they lost or couldn't pay their rent, mortgage, or simply turned to substance abuse to where they ended up in the streets. We feel that we don't look upon these people, that we don't have blind eyes and deaf ears when we're walking side by side. We're simply wanting to reach out and give them a helping hand. We can empower a person by providing housing assistance. Like the saying says, it takes a village to raise a child. Same goes with it takes a village to raise up a healthy economic empowerment community that includes the homeless population. Now, I'm a grant consultant that I focus on a lot of statistics, and I just wanted to share briefly that San Diego is the fourth largest city with an estimate of 9,200 homeless people. Now, that's a lot. Although last year there was a 5% increase in people being placed in sheltered and transitioning homes, and Petra House was part of this. which gives a positive sign that we're going up versus down. Being connected to supportive services that help to end the cycle. So with that being said, I want to turn it over to the CEO and founder, Mr. Carlton Brown, to talk more further about Petra House. And after he speaks, I will share with everyone how you can connect by telephone and by the website. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Carlton Brown, and I am the founder and CEO of Petra House. We are a nonprofit 501c3 that focuses on solutions, and we're action oriented, and we are very vigilant about creating permanent situations for homeless people. We actually would love to see the city and the county turn all of their vacant buildings into homeless housing instead of giving it to developers and creating more condos and rental spaces. We would love to see the cities and counties turn over their land that's undeveloped and give us an opportunity to create smart homes that we can put on a sliding scale, homeless families, and give them an opportunity to learn a trade by Petra House paying their union dues as a carpenter, as a plumber, as an electrician. And basically, we're just asking for an opportunity. We're not looking at the $1 billion that they're spending on homeless frivolously and not having guardrails as to what the money is actually going to and how it's actually affecting and helping the homeless. We want to be a solution-oriented program. We would love to sit down at the table with other organizations that are currently already funded and ask them to take on the housing issue. And the reason the housing issue is so important to me is because I am the past president of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers San Diego chapter. I am the current Southern California regional vice president for California Association of Real Estate Brokers. And I work on the national level with the National Association of Real Estate Brokers.com as on the education team for NARAB University. And what we do is we highlight homes and how to become homeowners. And we know that that starts with somebody giving opportunity. We know that if you lost your home, you're going to have problems with credit. If you lost your job, you're going to have problems with credit. So we need some credit restrictive programs that allow people a leg up to get out of the homeless situation and into homes. I just look forward to everyone contributing in the sense that we all band together and we all go down to City Hall and we go down to the County Board of Supervisors and we say, hey, why are you guys distributing the money when we are the experts, when we have the nonprofits that actually boots on the ground and get the job done? So why not give us an opportunity to go to the 75, 85% veterans that are on the streets and treat them like heroes instead of treating them like outcasts because they're homeless. I just think that it's time out for us to talking about these issues, and we need to be about doing something. So I read a thing today that said, why is the windshield on a car larger than the mirror? Well, because if you look in a mirror, you're looking behind you. If you look in the windshield, you're looking at the future. And we want to be the windshield of the homeless issue and problem in San Diego County and City. Thank you very much, Carlton Brown. And Sabrina will give you our website, our 800 number, and explain to you how you can be part of the solution and not the problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Yes, please visit our website, www.petrahouse.net. Our email address is info@petrahouse.net. We have an 800 number where you can dial in. And if you have issues regarding homeless assistance, you can talk to Mr. Brown directly. Or if you know of grant opportunities to help with the housing assistance, you can talk to me directly, Sabrina Carnell Williams. Or if there are youth issues that you are aware of, you can call Miss Ramona S. Jones. The number is 1-800-568-9488, extension 101. We ask that people that do not, again, have blind eyes and deaf ears to this problem. We ask for volunteers and donations for the cause, because it takes all of us to solve this problem. This is not a Band-Aid situation that you can just simply sweep away. Just recently, the Mayor Todd Gloria, has earmarked $10 million towards programs to place unsheltered San Diegans on a path to permanent housing and a new homeless solutions department. So we are pairing up with local officials and communities to take care of this problem that we're having in the city of San Diego. There's about 15% of homeless people living in the downtown area, and that's a lot. And we're wanting to transition them and moving them from tents to bridges into affordable homes where they have 4 walls, where they have indoor plumbing, where they have a refrigerator to put fresh food, where they can simply put on clean clothing and look in the mirror and say, I am somebody, and I can take care of my family. So that's the mission that Petra House is wanting to do. Again, our number is 1-800-568-9488, extension 101. Our website is www.petrahouse.net. Thank you.
So I think this is the portion of our interview that we, and before we go to the question segment, I would just like to highlight my passion and company for, I think with school starting back, it's very timely for us to help homeless children who are on the streets get back to school. A lot of them are embarrassed. A lot of them don't want to go because they don't want to be peer pressured into answering questions like, where do you live? Or they don't want to go because they don't want to have to wear the same set of clothes every day. So we need to find out agencies who will help us get clothing for these youth. And we need to find out where we can help them get hot food and showers to go to school every day. And we have programs through Ramona S. Jones and Driven to Win, where we can provide mentors to help youth who are struggling in school. And I just think that we really need to take a huge focus on helping young people get an opportunity to feel like they're not second when they're in the classroom.
Great. Before we start with the Q&A, we'd like to just place a listen in on a clip from our website, please.
Where can you go to find a Christ-centered community resource for homeless, vulnerable individuals and families? Petra House is your answer. This nonprofit organization offers San Diego's displaced community a transitional home and assistance to regain self-sufficiency, regain a sense of purpose, and return to mainstream life. They offer life essentials, conduct holiday toy drives, and future developments include a homeless shelter and restoration center for long-term sustainable housing to alleviate homelessness in the city and counties of San Diego. To learn more about Petra House and their mission to assist, rebuild, and restore normalcy to the lives of homeless individuals and communities, go to www.petrahouse.net. Again, that's www.petrahouseoneword.net.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, I have a couple of questions here. What type of outreach programs Petra House has in connecting with neighborhoods and partnering with organizations and local officials?
Well, currently we actually have what you would call a smorgasbord of opportunities. There's a North County, there's a East County, there's a San Diego. There is resources throughout the county. And my biggest problem with that is those are individual agencies that really need to be under one umbrella, and they all need to be connectable, because homeless people have a tendency to scour up and down from city to city when they feel that they're unwanted or being pushed out of a certain city. So if we had a registry of homeless people that we're helping in the places that they go and get food or clothing or opportunities to shower, or even portable showers that we could take to them, we could connect those to vehicles. There are a lot of things that, the city has vehicles sitting in its motor pool that are just sitting there unused, that they don't even have enough employees to use all the vehicles they have. So if they would subsidize those vehicles and earmark them for homeless, so we could go to the homeless instead of expecting homeless people to stand up and raise their hand and say, okay, I'm homeless. Well, that's not going to happen.
Right.
Because their pride, their dignity, and their situation just is not going to allow them. But, I think one of the biggest problems that we have that we're not paying attention to, Sabrina and Miss Williams, is the problem is we have people who get out of jail who are criminals that use the homeless as their playpen, because they know how to manipulate homeless people. They know how to manipulate the drugs and alcohol, and they know how to manipulate the system. So when you have career criminals infiltrating the homeless section, we're defeating ourselves by letting them segregate themselves. When you go to some of the homeless areas, you got the Hispanics staying with the Hispanics. You got the Blacks staying with the Blacks, the Asian staying with the Asian. Well, they're all homeless. So why aren't they all one? And that's because our society is not taking an aggressive look at career criminals and how to keep them out of the homeless population.
Right. Duly noted. You mentioned earlier about homeless young adults. Though they're not as visible as unsheltered veterans, adults, or families, youth under the age of 24 make up the largest subset of San Diego's homeless population. Petra House and Dream Builders Youth Mentoring Network, what are we doing to help close the gap in transitioning homeless young adults by placing their families in housing and connecting them into school systems or training programs by providing financial stability for themselves and their families?
Great question. Well, I can say it starts with trust. Why would they trust us? When they saw society foreclose on their parents' homes, they had to help pack their families up, their grandparents displaced, and why would they trust us? We have no track record with the youth of showing them that we're going to be about what we say or be about what we do. We're just all words. They need young people today. They play video games because it's visual. And the visualization of us being hands-on, helping people will bridge that gap where we can earn their trust. trust is not given, it's earned. And for the youth segment, it's everything to earn their trust. And that's where we fall through the cracks, because they don't want to be political sized. They don't want their pictures on billboards, or they don't want to be ostracized and used as a tool for us to get grants so that we can spend our money and go on vacations. No, they want to see results. And it starts with us helping their parents. And quietly, we will gain their trust by them seeing us get their families into homes off the street.
Yes. And I have one last question regarding the homeless veterans. You touched on it a little bit earlier. According to San Diego Point in Time, military veterans make up more than 13%, about 1,000 population in San Diego. And that's because we're a military town. San Diego is one of the biggest states that has the most homeless veterans. What is Petra House doing to help get homeless veterans off the streets?
Again, it's trust. They go to Afghanistan, they go to places way across in other countries, and they're treated better than they're treated at home. So the dignity and pride of them being veterans is not being instilled in them because they don't see that. They don't believe that. It's hard to get them to even go to the VA for hospitalization and treatment because they don't trust their own government, because they got out of the military and they had nothing to show for the time that they spent in the military. And the ones that are doing well continue to do well, but they don't allow the ones who are not doing well to be at the top of the list. And that's where the biggest gap is that the ones who aren't officers, the ones who didn't do really well in the military, they don't get the accolades. They don't have all of the badges on their uniforms. There's guys who were in the trenches, dodging bullets, saving lives, but when they get back to the U.S., they get treated like crap. And that's a travesty on our part, that we're not able to earn their trust. And again, it's allowing us to sit down with them, if we had vehicles, to take them to the VA, wait there for them to get their meds, to wait for them to get their treatments, and regain their trust in the society that they helped establish. Our freedom that we walk around with every day, we're standing on their shoulders and their backs, and we're treating them like trash.
Yes, absolutely. And these are young men and women that volunteer to serve for our country, and they return back, and we're not giving them anything in return. So I thank you, Mr. Brown, for acknowledging those who serve for our country. Again, this is Petra House Net. I'm Sabrina Carnell Williams with the founder and CEO, Mr. Carlton Brown. Please visit us again on our website, www.petrahouse.net. Our 800 number is 1-800-568-9488, extension 101. Mr. Brown, do you have any closing thoughts?
I just want to say we can do nothing without God. So pray for us. Just know that all your donations go directly to our clients. We use none of the money for our personal anything, and that you can get a 501c3 tax deduction. And we would love for you to partner with us. We don't want your money. We want your boots on the ground. So if you could join us in this fight, lock arms with us, and go to the city, go to the county, and be heard, we would greatly, immensely appreciate it. Thank you much, and have a blessed day.
Thank you. So just to wrap it up, I do have a few questions. Do you mind?
No, not at all.
Okay, it's just because coming from Facebook to YouTube, there was way more information. So now I have some questions. We have some people in our membership body that work with a transitional population coming from incarceration, transitioning out. And I also heard you say that there might be some programming to help pay for union dues.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
So even though they're not necessarily homeless, but they are part of a transitionary population, are they able to take advantage of these services?
Absolutely. Well, the services is not just financial. To get in a union, you have to first apply and pay for application. Then you have to have a mentor in whatever trade you're in, electrical, plumbing, or carpentry, to sign off your hours. So that's what make you become eligible for the union. So that's why we put them to work side by side with a person who is going to monitor their hours and train them at the same time. So when they get in the union, they can stay in the union, because it's more to getting the training and the hours that allow them to stay in the union. It's not the funding, it's the training and the hours.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Because yes, it's funny how you have these conversations, and now that we're here on YouTube, I'm like, someone just asked me about this. And so now that I'm hearing more of the presentation, it sounds like your organizations combined provide a lot of what they would consider soft services or wraparound services.
Yes,
Correct?
is correct.
Okay. And so just to kind of be clear, you're also able to help people get into homes that are transitioning. You know, the goal is to decrease the homeless or unsheltered population. But then also, again, if you're coming from any sort of transition population, like being incarcerated, transitioning out, you could also take advantage of this maybe rehoming as well.
Absolutely. There's no boundaries, and
Okay.
there's guardrails. This is an open playing field, and it needs to be a level playing field. Just because a person made a mistake, you got to remember they're passing laws that are now, to me, self-serving. They're passing laws that you can have a marijuana a place to do business or earn money from things the guys went to jail for. And
Yeah.
it didn't mean that they were criminals. It just means that they had a substance that at the time wasn't legal. So a lot of those guys, I feel, are falling through the cracks because now they're stigmatized because they have a felony on their record. They're a criminal, and all they did was what people are doing right now is legal to have marijuana. So, I mean, we have to look at the level of people who are incarcerated that are coming out. Everyone that's coming out is not, Charles Manson or, some
Right.
horrible, a lot of these guys just were doing things at a time when it wasn't legal, and
Right.
and they are paying the price for that.
Right. Well, as my mom would say, you're only a criminal because you got caught. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of advice.
Well, your mom is a little close to it, but if that's the case, then we need to go to Washington, D.C. and arrest all of them.
Yeah, the whole state, practically.
Well, at least the House and the Senate.
Yeah, at least the House and the Senate.
Gotcha.
$200,000 a year salary to make laws that they don't even believe in or they don't care about, and yet they want to, ostracize our communities and our votes. But as soon as they found out that the black vote is what turns elections, now they don't want us to vote. I mean, so how confusing is that?
Yeah.
So we're all messed up in this society.
Yes.
So let's just keep it local and do something that we can actually do something about. Because I'm going to give you one of the sayings from my mom. My mom, who passed away at 99 years old. This is what she would say to us as kids: little known, little required. So what that means is, if you don't know much, you can't do much. So the more we know, the more we can do. So I think that what we really need to do is practice what we preach, earn trust by people seeing the action items that we're doing, and a lot less conversation. And that's where we want to take Petra House into a action-oriented organization.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Well, I want to thank you for hopping on YouTube. When we celebrate our new members, it's a week long of us hopping on basically every single platform for the whole week. So, I thank you for your patience and I thank you for your perseverance. We just really find this is valuable because it allows our members to actually practice creating content on YouTube and Facebook. And later this week on Thursday, we're going to be on Instagram as well. So with Young Black and in Business, our core mission is to make sure that we're providing our members, high value exposure opportunities. So we have the magazine, we do the social media announcements, but just as far as being able to pitch your business, connect with people in real time, really making sure that our entrepreneurs are hopping on these platforms just so we can get a taste of it, because once we have a taste of it, then we know exactly what to do and we devour it. So just being on YouTube, I really want to thank you guys for your time, appreciate you for pushing through, and really introduce and invite you to continue to create content on YouTube. We do have the Pathway to Legacy program. So now that I'm hearing more about what Petra House does and how you're able to actually help transition communities, and not only are you transitioning them into work, but you're also able to transition them into home ownership or at least being sheltered. These are all things that Young Black and in Business stands behind. Really our theme for this year has been about building a pathway to legacy. And as a developer, firsthand, and you are building legacies on behalf of your clients when it comes to owning real estate.
Yes.
So, this is just the perfect time. And, thank you for becoming a member because it's it really is cosmic timing. We have the Pathway to Legacy program. We're helping to our entrepreneurs expand into the construction and trade industries. So the fact that you're even talking about paying union dues, that's right on point with exactly where we're going. So this conversation is going to continue. We've got one more.
Well, we're good. We appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are teaching us how to market ourselves. You're teaching us how to become visible, and you're also teaching us to put our actions where our mouth is. So we appreciate this opportunity.
Yes.
Young Black and in Business is definitely a partnership for life for Petra House and Green Sustainable.
Yes, thank you. And we're going to be, offline, we're going to dive deeper into the Pathway to Legacy to see exactly how we can plug your services in. Because all we do is we organize people, we disseminate information, but you guys have the resources. So I want to make sure that we're able to plug in those resources, where they're most appropriate, because we're right on the same path, you guys are on. We have to break into these trades. We have to get more, real estate under our belts, and so really being able to make sure that we're attacking this on a family level, just exactly, it's the youth and it's the parents of the youth. What are we talking about at the dinner table? What are the cousins talking about?
Yes.
So it really is a family affair when you start thinking about, okay, who's going to go in this trade? Who's going in that trade? Who's getting this degree? It has to be, it's a team mentality, when it comes to the family and building a legacy. So I'm so grateful that you guys have been supporting Young Black in the Business for so long. Thank you for becoming an officially recognized member. I love it all. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And we appreciate you. And we look forward to future endeavors.
Yes.
And you can always count us as sponsors.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hop off of YouTube. As you guys have heard, we're going to be on Instagram on Thursday at 7:00 p.m. So follow us at YB8NDNB on Instagram so that you can catch us and Petra House going live. I want to thank our special guest, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Brittany.
Thank you, Brittany.